Let's talk about confidence. It's a funny old thing, but do you know what? There has been a situation in which you were entirely confident. Well, actually, probably quite a few of them. I'd like you to think through, like you're rifling through the photo album in your mind and you're thinking about times when you've been confident. And it doesn't have to be a big shiny thing, like, I don't know, jumping off a building with a bungee rope. It doesn't have to be a big, amazing, shiny thing. It's just about figuring out when you felt confident. So it could be even something like driving a car, riding a motorbike, riding a bicycle. It could be climbing a tree. It could be doing your job. It could be something that you do as a hobby that you really enjoy doing. You get lost in the moment and you feel just completely comfortable when you're doing it. So when you're thinking about all the times that you've had that sense of confidence, all we're going to do is copy and paste it, because the confidence you need for this particular situation, whether it's a scary thing because it is a scary thing, or it's scary because you've never done it before, or it's scary because you've done it before but not for a long time, or it's something that you really wish you didn't have to do, or something that just makes everybody nervous. So, public speaking is something that I do for a living, but for a lot of people, it's something that scares the bejesus out of them. So, whatever it is, worry not about worrying about it, if that makes any sense at all, because the fear you have of it is just your nervous system, your survival instinct, trying to make you so afraid of the situation that you turn and run in the opposite direction. So, for instance, when I've helped people with flight phobias, you could say the body, the mind, the survival instinct to not go thousands of miles up in the air in a metal tube is a good idea. Well, maybe it's totally understandable that that's a scary thing and that your survival instinct would go, not a good plan. So what your survival instinct tries to do is make you so afraid you just will give up on the idea. But if it's something that you have got to do, and probably that you want to do, then we need to get beyond that point. We need to get to the point where you feel like this is okay. Now, when we're talking about confidence, we don't necessarily mean that you are going to be the most confident person, that you're going to head into that situation just completely like a superhero with their cape on and their shiny pants and everything. It might mean that you just get on and do it. You just manage to get through it. And that's fine too. You don't have to feel superly powered up and 100% confident to go and do things. But rest assured that if you go into a situation with enough confidence to just do it, and still a little bit nervous, anxious, wobbly about it, you will definitely come out the other side and go, yes. There'll be a sense of achievement, and rightly so. So let's copy and paste that confidence. Think about a time when you have felt really confident, a time where you didn't really have to be brave, you didn't really have to concentrate on that confidence. It's just something that you do. So you might want to think about something actually quite ordinary that you do, like I say, driving or something like that, something that you do, preferably something that's very active rather than something like sitting and reading a book, something where you're actually having to use some skills and do something quite physical. So have a think about what that is, and if you can't quite land on something, then maybe pause the video while you decide, and then decide on what that one thing is, and then meet me back here. Okay, have you thought what it is? Right, so what I'd love you to do is get as comfortable as you can wherever you are, and to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If you'd rather stare down and just lose focus, stare down and away, that's absolutely fine. And I want you to think about that thing that you are confident doing, whatever that activity is. I want you to remember a time when you've done that felt really easy and that you were in the zone, as it were. So with your eyes gently closed or staring down and away, I want you to get lost in that feeling. So when you were there doing that thing, remember what you could see in that moment. Where were you? Who else was there, or were you on your own? What else could you see around you? Was there furniture? Were there trees? What were the things around you? What do you remember? And what colours could you see in that moment? Was there movement, or was everything static? What were you wearing? What kind of clothes were you wearing? Were you in comfortable clothes or very formal clothes? What were you doing in terms of your physical activity? Were you moving, or were you stationary? What were the hand gestures? What were the movements that you were making? In your mind's eye, I want you to imagine you're right there, right now, and you are recreating that moment. Whatever you could see, whatever you could hear in that moment, and how it felt. And perhaps the tactile things. What could you feel? What were the things that were around you? What were the texture of those things? What was the temperature where you were? What was the temperature on your skin? So say, for instance, I sometimes use this activity to remember when I was hang gliding and my body was very warm, all wrapped up, but the wind on my cheeks as I flew through the air was really exhilarating and a very tangible thing. So what can you feel that you remember from that moment? And it might be about what you were wearing, what you were doing, how you were moving, what you were thinking, what you were saying, what you were creating. Could be anything at all, but immerse yourself completely in that moment. What you could see, what you could hear, how it felt, the colours, the shapes, the light. And it's as if you're back there right now, and notice that feeling of confidence. What's it like? Does it feel like a big excited bravery, or does it just feel actually like a smooth, calm, natural easiness? Notice what your confidence is like. When you're feeling it, what's it like? Sometimes we start to realise it's not as we would imagine it to be. It's actually just a little bit simpler than that. Notice for you what feeling of confidence you would like to have. What did you have in that moment? And let's copy and paste that. So we're going to use an anchor. You might have done this before. I'm just going to take one hand and grip the wrist of the other hand. You can use any gesture. You could squeeze thumb and finger together, or put one hand on one leg and give it a squeeze. You could do whatever is meaningful for you. You could even tug your earlobe, or whatever is going to be an anchor for you. So in that moment, thinking about that thing that made you feel just totally comfortable and confident, remembering what you could see, hear and feel. And then I want you to grip your wrist, or whichever you've chosen as your physical anchor for this feeling, and take some nice long deep breaths in. And it's as if you're right there right now, feeling that confidence. You might even want to put a smile on your face, that sense of how easy it is, and enjoy that feeling, taking in nice long deep breaths in and out, feeling that grip, feeling that anchor that you are creating, so that at any point you can recreate that anchor, and that physical anchor will take you right back to this lovely emotional feeling of everything just being easy, being fully confident and competent, and remembering that you have skills, you have talents and attributes, and sometimes that you don't really think much of it because it's easy for you, but other people would look at you doing that so easily and think, yay, well done you. Breathe that in, that sense of what other people might think is quite amazing, that for you is just easy. Gripping that anchor, One long deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just stay with that moment a little longer and think about the thing you now need to do, the thing that you were needing a little extra confidence for. Picture yourself doing it now. Picture yourself walking into that situation with a smile on your face. You're squeezing your anchor and it's all good. Just picture in your mind's eye the best way that this could turn out. Picture yourself speaking, moving, working, whatever it is you need to do, and imagine it going even better than that. Even better than that. Just imagine it going as good as it possibly can go. And notice how you feel while you're doing it, feeling calm, feeling confident, feeling clear that you just know it's okay. And that even if it's something that you haven't done before, or you haven't done for a while, or you don't really want to do, or you wish you didn't have to do, it doesn't matter. All of that just dissolves. And what you're left with is that anchor of, I can just do it anyway. Take in another long, deep breath. And with the out breath, relax your shoulders, relax your jaw and the muscles of your face, relax your hand and release your anchor, and just notice how you feel. And then I'd like you to tilt your chin down towards yourself and smile a big grin into yourself, like a congratulations that you've already achieved this level of confidence for that particular thing that you are going to go and do. A big smile into yourself, and that smile, even though you're doing it on purpose, will still trigger off feel-good feelings in the body. It will give the body and the brain the message that there's something good going on, and indeed there is something good going on. It's you. So if you haven't already, lift up your chin, give yourself a big stretch like you just woke up in the morning, stretch a little left and right, shake yourself out a little bit, release the shoulders, release your neck, and just notice how you feel. Just sit for a moment and just notice. Without judgment of yourself, just noticing. And if you need to, you can do this technique anytime as a little top up. But I reckon you've probably got this. You go out there, do that thing you need to do because you have the talent, you have the skills, and if you need new ones, you'll be able to develop those too. You will be able to move into doing something new or in a new way, just like you have before. Think about all the things you've achieved in the past that you thought you couldn't do, and then you just went and nailed it. You can do this. I have complete faith in you. Enjoy the process.